We're just normal men.
What do you mean, normal men?
We're just innocent men.
It's time for Side Scrollers with me, Stuttering Craig.
You decide when you lose, not other people.
And Blabs.
I like pickles.
And co-hosted by our friends from around the internet. If you like common sense, hit that thumbs up button and, of course, the subscribe button. And join us Monday through Friday live at 11 a.m. Central Time. And now, broadcasting from our homes, it's time for the #1 gaming and entertainment podcast on God's green earth. It's time for Side Scrollers.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Welcome on out to Side Scrollers on YouTube.com and Rumble.com and Side Scrollers Podcast.com. What's going on, everybody? Hey, happy Wednesday to you. Are you having a good hump day? You are? All right. Well, here we are. We are creeping right on up to the top of that little arch. Hey, arch, it's Wednesday. Nice. And we're going to be coasting straight on down to Thursday and Friday. Guys, I'm glad you found us today. Welcome. Hi, I'm Stuttering Craig. Hello, Blabs.
Hello, I just want to tell the chat how professional we are, like backstage. Whilst the intro is going, Craig is stretching and I'm blowing my nose. I don't know if you saw that, but I look over at the same time and I'm like, and you're like,
getting prepped.
We're
Gotta get
very
ready.
professional.
Gotta get loose. Yeah, baby, let's go. Are you doing good today?
Yeah. You gotta boogie around. Like, people understand when you sit in a chair all day, it's very bad for you. So you really gotta get jiggy with it.
You know what? Let's do it, Blabs. For the 100s, how about we get up and we just do some
Stretching?
push-ups or stretching or something like that?
If I do a push-up, no one will see because I'll just and same with you. If you do stretching though, everyone can see that.
I'll tell you what. This is what we'll do. We'll set up. I'll set up this other little webcam here. Boop, 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 boop. And I will set it up on a separate browser, ready to go. And we will have
push up and fall on your face.
We can have push-up cam, right? We can do like Fitness Friday or something like that. You know,
I'd rather not do push-ups. Can I do something else? Okay, I was gonna say, can I do something else?
you can do some ab crunches.
Okay.
Right? Yeah, it'd be good. Get that six-pack along the way.
Damn it.
Damn.
I got a roll, damn it.
Oh, well, you got the one pack, if you will, right? We like most of society, the one pack.
I wouldn't even call it a roll. It's more like a muffin top at this point, but yeah.
Well, there's still time, Blabs. There's still time.
Listen. I actually did a shit ton of exercising yesterday. It was for a skit, but I did it anyway.
A skit?
Yeah, I was prepping myself for an eBay auction. So I was getting ready and I was lifting up my Harry Potter items and stuff and moving around and I'm getting ready. And then I lost the auction. So.
Oh, how sad.
Yes.
Very, very anticlimactic there. Thank you.
Yeah, it's sad, but it's typical for eBay auctions. So you always lose.
Let me tell you this. Someone I know has just a washboard Jake Gyllenhaal abs. Our guest this Wednesday, it's Arch. Let's go.
Oh, hi, Arch.
Hello.
Arch, you got some sweet six-pack abs?
I don't know about that. See, it's always difficult to actually work out because I have an overactive imagination, so I get bored far too quickly.
You over here doing some push-ups?
That.
You getting two in and you're like, oh, that color wall is white. Look at that.
Dude, for real, though. That is a real thing that I'm just like, huh. Or it feels like it's so much longer. Like if you plank for a minute, it just feels like you planked for 5 hours, but it was really just 1 minute. You're like, are you serious? Yeah.
Well,
I actually had the best thing though. So when I was in physical therapy for an injury, the best way to confuse you was making you do math out loud. So while you're doing exercises, my PT would be like, all right, 10 times 10. And you're just focusing on it and time would fly because you're like, oh my God, math. Yeah.
It's like when you're on a car ride, right? The best thing to do is just kind of sleep, right? You know, to get
that totally is the same example as exercising. The best thing to do is to sleep while you exercise.
No. Sleep when you're in the car ride. It gets you there faster, you know?
Well, yeah, like in planes and stuff, as long as you don't die in the plane.
Yeah, it's good stuff. Well, look, we got a great show. Obviously, Arch is with us today every other Wednesday, which is, hey, it's always great to have Arch on the show from the other side of the world hanging out with us, which is wonderful. But we're going to have a great show. We have a major anniversary in the world, a major birthday in the world of video games, which is very, very cool. Looking forward to sharing, talking about that in depth. We have pronouns going into a classic video game because, of course, we do. Why not? Here we are. We have a new alien popcorn bucket. It gets even better. This one may be the best popcorn bucket of them all. I'm telling you right now, this one's spectacular. We have, of course, today in Mr. Beast, we're going to get into the new insanity associated with that. Rachel Zegler is absolutely insufferable. And we're going to get into this boxer suing the internet. We also have Walt Disney being turned into a robot, which is nuts. And we're going to get into this this viral video we talked about yesterday. Arch wants to dig into this whole thing with Nade Shot about how people want games to fail. So we'll get into all that today. But first, I'd like to remind you guys, we are live over on Rumble at Rumble. I'm sorry, The Green R over at thegreenr.com/side-scroller. Oh, sorry, The Green Hard R. If you can find us over there, you can also get to find out that Arch was going to be on the show by following us over at Side Scroller Pod. We're like closing in on, like, I don't know, I feel like we're over the hump, almost getting to 10,000 followers over there, which is great. Mm-hmm. So if you're on X, which most of you are, head on over there and follow at Side Scroller Pod. We also have an Instagram account, don't we, Blabs?
We do, so follow us for memes and clips of the show. Otherwise, some sort of violence upon you and your cow. But I just want to point out that over on Kick, we have 659 followers. So, like, we should get to 700. I'm just saying.
659?
Yep.
If we can get 10 of you guys over there, just to end at 669 and then nobody follow.
Then that's it, like forever.
That's it. Well, listen, if we get there today, if we get to 669, I will not promote the Kick ever again. Just, I think it'd be good if 10 of you guys could do that. That'd be great. You can also listen to the show over on Apple Podcast and Spotify as we continue to grow over there. It's very fun to see the growth over on Apple Podcast and Spotify. And of course, you can find us over at sidescrollerspodcast.com, which redirects to our locals page. It is free to create an account over there, but if you like to support over there, you absolutely can, and we greatly appreciate it, as that is where your money goes furthest when it comes to support of this free, independent, fun show that we do Monday through Friday. With that said, yeah, man, we got a lot going on. Hit the subscribe button if you're new over here on YouTube. Join the 91,000 just normal men looking for common sense in the video game, entertainment, pop culture world. Let's do our best to get to 1,000 likes. So scroll your little mouse over to that thumbs up. By the way, there is a direct correlation between you hitting the thumbs up button and the discovery on YouTube during a live stream. I have seen it myself. So if everyone would go over there, if you like the show, want to spread the word, that's a great way to do it. And of course, let's get to 25 memberships today, which is a goal as always. So let's get on it. So yeah, lots going on today. Blabs, please fill us in.
Hi.
In video game history.
Okay, so another banger for today, August 14th. We have the Genesis birthday. I know. Look, guys, I 2 for 2. I am on a roll for gaming segment. So Genesis was born in 1989. We have James Bond 007 The Duel releasing back in 1993. And then we have Virtual Boy releasing back in 1995. RIP. The end.
All right. There's a lot there, Arch. Did you ever get, first off, the Genesis? Your thoughts on the Genesis, or the Mega Drive, if you will, over on the other side of the pond? What were your thoughts on the Mega Drive / Genesis?
Only ever played with it once at my grandparents' place where they had Sonic. That was pretty amazing.
It was, wasn't it, man? I'll tell you what. Chat, favorite Genesis / Mega Drive game? Go. Let me know in the chat. And I'll tell you what, someone who's really excited is I am the Icarus with a $50 super chat. Says happy 35th anniversary, Sega Genesis. Thanks for the memories. Hell yes. Everybody who's played that thing has some sort of, for me, it'll always be number 2. Speaking of 2, let's go.
Always 2. There are no more, no less.
Yes. It will always be number 2 as far as the 90s console. For me, Super Nintendo is king, then the Genesis, and as far as that era. But I realized as I asked you that question, Arch, that I was asking a something that you probably, you are PC Master Race. So like, what am I even doing asking you about the Genesis? I don't even,
Exactly.
like, what an idiot I am. It's so silly. Anyways, yeah. So the Genesis, 35 years old. Not to be outdone though, Blabs, with your today in
Oh,
gaming
here we
history.
go. Go on.
Well, I mean, you mentioned the Virtual Boy. Have you ever heard of the Virtual Boy? You ever experienced
I have heard
the
of it,
Virtual
but
Boy?
I have never experienced it. But it looks weird when I googled it. Very odd.
So the Virtual Boy, Blabs, and Arch, you may know this as well. The Virtual Boy was Nintendo's foray into virtual reality in the mid 90s. And it was only red and black. There was no like the original Game Boy was like this monochromatic, like greenish color, right? It was supposed to be black and white, but it came through kind of lime greenish on your screen. They did the same, except it was 3D, and you had to cover your eyes up. And it wasn't one of those things where like today you put on an Oculus and it has a thing on the back, right? You literally laid down. You were laying down and you're sitting through this
on the ground. That's awesome.
It was the most impractical, or you were like, you set it up on a counter. So you're just sitting there and you like put your eyes into it, right? It was
kind of like those eye machines where they like test your eyes.
Yeah.
You have to put your chin down and you just look through.
Yes. Actually, that's very much like it. Yes. But
yeah, that's uncomfortable. No, it's a no from me.
So imagine playing video games on that eye machine. Right?
Chat says they got massive headaches from it. I bet.
Yes. It was a gigantic failure. Like probably the biggest failure in Nintendo's history. But they tried. They wanted it to be their next thing, and it obviously didn't work out very well. But people have actually taken those games and they've taken the virtual boy games and modded them and brought them over to the 3DS, which is very, very cool. And you can play some of those games online as well now. So emulation, it's a pretty crazy thing. So yeah, pretty nice stuff. One other game that was not mentioned on your list today, Blabs, speaking of the Genesis, was the fighting game to compete with Street Fighter 2, the Genesis fighting game, Eternal Champions. I don't know if you've ever heard of that game, Arch. You ever heard of Eternal Champions?
I have not.
So Eternal Champions was a classic 2D fighter, and the really unique thing about it was the finishing moves that they had. There's fatalities, and it was like, whoa, because it was kind of like Mortal Kombat. But they had a high number of, it was like very bloody for its time. And it didn't play very well, but it was definitely a noticeable game. This was released for the Sega CD and the Genesis and a number of different Sega consoles. But like, here's an example of some of these, they call them overkills and sudden deaths. So they'd go in and like there were stage fatalities where you'd shock them against the wall and you see blood and organs fall out and like clearly in front of a fake McDonald's. And it was like, it's fun to see this stuff, back in the day. You're gonna land on the come on, let's go. Land on top of the Washington Monument. So it was pretty fun for back in the day. Anyways, but good job today, Blabs.
Why, thank you.
History has helped you a lot today with that. So very good stuff. So yeah, I always like nerding out when it comes to. I could do like a retro gaming podcast. I can totally do that.
I think you should. You should do like once a week if you ever had the time. Just do like a 1 a week thing where you guys just talk retro gaming, like on Side Scrollers Players or something.
What is that time that you speak of? What is this that you?
Yeah, I don't know. I think it's something to do with sand. I don't know, but yeah.
Well, something that I do not have, and I'm not privileged to have these days. With that said,
time is fleeting. We must flee.
Now, if I can make a smooth transition without getting into hard news yet, I saw this story and I thought this was really, really cool. This was passed around by the Guinness Book of World Records yesterday, and this guy set the record. Arch, listen, you seem like a guy who, if you're a PC gamer, there's something that you got to deal with, and that's cable management. You got cables all over the place, I would imagine, right? You got cables from your PC to your monitor. It's all over the place. Could you imagine, Arch, having 400 game consoles, 400 game. I didn't even know there's 400 game consoles. 400 game consoles, all plugged in to a singular TV. That is what.
How do you do that?
Well, I'm glad you asked, because this gentleman
Oh my
from
God,
Saudi
cable
Arabia.
management.
Yes, this is a guy from Saudi Arabia, and he has all these things. Let's watch about 20 seconds of this really quick.
Damn, look at that.
Isn't that insane? Isn't that the craziest thing in the world? Let's check this out.
Look, no, before you even play, just look at it all. Like,
Yes.
they're piled on top of each other. I must know where he gets his furniture from. That must hold a shit ton of stuff. Is that like an IKEA Billy or something? I gotta know.
I'm just going to throw it out there, Blabs, that I don't think that the guy who owns the world record for 400 consoles plugged into a single game shops at IKEA.
You never know. They have pretty good Billy bookshelf furniture over there. Just saying.
I mean, this is spectacular.
IKEA sponsor me and send me stuff. Thank you. Go
so
on.
the thing to keep in mind is you have all these different consoles, and it's all going right here. So how does that work? Let's check this out for a second. This is insane.
I have so many video game consoles. After a while, I noticed that I have a big stock of gaming consoles that I couldn't play.
And hold on. That's how it happens right here.
Wow.
Okay.
Imagine his electricity bill.
Well, he gets into how it actually functions here in a minute. Let's see if I can find this. Here we go. Look at this bad boy. This is crazy how this all works.
RCA switcher. If I went to select any gaming console, everything here in the Excel sheet, you can see.
Oh my God.
This is main.
Look at that. First off, look at that monitor, Arch.
That's massive. But you know what? I love the spreadsheet. I think it's awesome. That's amazing.
Arch, what do you think of that monitor?
This guy has too much extra income, I feel like.
Can you
That's
imagine
just the
his
monitor
wife?
he set up to monitor this shit. Like, yes, I need an enormous curved monitor to keep track of the 400 gaming consoles I got plugged into my television.
I mean, this guy's spectacular. I mean, it's like.
No way. I think this is fantastic. I mean, like, listen, I have a spreadsheet for my Harry Potter stuff. It is like autistic, just kind of like that. But I think that's awesome. But can you imagine his wife? How much money did you spend on electricity this month?
Arch.
I
I'm sorry.
love it.
Blabs, Arch, this guy doesn't have a wife. I'm just gonna throw it out there.
Are you sure? Dude, he must be loaded. I think he's got a wife.
Oh my. Okay, here it is. Check this out.
This is HDMI, B, C, D, and so on. This is the RCA. I have everything here. Okay? Once I turn on the 360, it will come directly. All the consoles the same. Everything. Xbox Series. Even PlayStation 5. You can see here Nintendo Switch, the OLED model, the latest. Nintendo Wii U, Nintendo 64. I use a converter here.
By the way, I just want to point out, this is not just the Nintendo 64. There's a Nintendo 64 disc drive down below, which is incredibly rare. I mean, this guy's
awesome.
He has
And
everything.
there's the Virtual Boy.
And you're right, Arch, the Virtual Boy hanging out right there. Let's go. You notice that on the side over here, the literal trees of controllers he has over here.
He doesn't have Christmas trees. He has a console tree.
I mean, this is spectacular. And this is one of those guys. I talk about doing like an arcade show, like doing an arcade tour.
Mm.
I would love to do a show from this guy's house. I want to go to Saudi Arabia.
Middle East.
Hell yes, I want to go to the Middle East.
That's awesome.
Dude, this is the greatest,
We
most
should
nerdy
find
thing.
him and we should like stream yards with him.
I tried. I actually tried yesterday. 444 gaming consoles to a single TV. Oh my God.
Whatever happens if he has like an outage and he has to figure out where it's coming from and what's going on, like that sounds like a massive headache. Damn.
Right. And you're dealing with cables. One goes wrong. It's like, what happened? What happened?
Exactly. And
Like
there's
Christmas
like
lights.
so many. So he's got 444 consoles. How many cables is that?
Right.
That's like 1,000 cables.
Hey, This guy's the Giga Chad over here. Let's go. He's gonna pull there. He's hanging out on that's that guy, just hanging out over there. By the way, you may be asking yourself, what is his favorite console? Anybody?
Like
any questions? Any thoughts on that, Arch? And I mean, no, I'm gonna. Any thoughts on his favorite console?
What it is?
Yeah.
It would have to be something stupidly complex or something. Or the meme Dreamcube.
Oh, the dream.
Or he's actually like PC Master Race, baby, and he just does this for shits and giggles.
Right. I don't need to, but I got them all. Fuck off. Right.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, here it is. His favorite console, the greatest of all time, according to him.
Number one. Always. Forever. Sega Genesis.
Tying into today's birthday. Let's go.
Wow. That's so cool, man. Like, look at his background. That's awesome. Just full of stuff.
That's what we call hosting, Blabs. That's what you bring it all around. Let's go.
Oh, he's still on the. I was talking about the dude's collection. He's like, I did such a great transition.
Anyway,
That dude's awesome.
Great stuff. Congratulations to that guy setting the world record. 444. Jeez Louise, that's just absolutely nuts. But good on him. Also good on CG Hero, who came in with a $10 direct donation. Says, Arch, please tell Craig why the animated Last Airbender is much better than the live-action Netflix version. Please, Arch. Why is that?
Well, one is live action, the other is animated.
Oh, noted.
Does one need to go further?
I mean, I feel like I learned a whole lot just now by that. That's good. Thank you, Arch. Well, sorry. There you go, CG Hero. I now know why the animated version is considerably better. Obviously, you do prefer the animated version versus the live action.
Yeah, live action, with the exception of the One Piece Netflix series, where they really lent into the cringe and fully embraced it. Like there are some things that work in an animated form that just don't work in live action, and Avatar was very much so one of those. Sorry, I was typing to you, Blabs. Give me just a second. Someone is pounding on my front door, like there's an emergency or something. I'll be right back.
All right. Okay, it's Jesus takes the wheel now. It's fine. Okay, so anything else, Arch, about that, or shall I move on to super chats?
Do some super chats then.
Okie dokie. Marksman says, Craig, call Arch a snow monkey. Embrace slur power. What's
That's true.
A snow monkey is a slur?
We have an official racial slur for Norwegians. It was invented during the time when Norway and Denmark were in a unified nation, and it is fjeldabe, which means mountain monkey.
So they call you a monkey now? That's pretty racist. Damn.
It is. It's
terrible. You can align with like all the blacks and be like, see, I am also in the minority too now. They say racist slurs against me.
Yes, and mine is also from the 1800s, so good.
Look at that! You guys have a lot in common. All right, yeah. Max says, SNES and Genesis are goats and will never be bested. Thank you, Max. Absolutely Rudy says, y'all should try DDP Yoga. It's great and not gay. What's DDP Yoga? What is that? DDP Yoga. Diamond Dallas Page? I don't know what that means. What is that? Anyway, thanks for that. Boog says, tell Arch I'm not buying him a car. He has too many.
But why, Boog? Why?
Yeah, okay. Wildo T. Baggins says, you should look into getting Andy Pants Gaming on. Prime example of a normal man. All right, I screenshot it. Thank you. Javi says, Blabs, have you watched The Predator? The answer is no. Antihero says, Inquisitor Arch, I just realized I don't even know your favorite 40k faction in Space Marine chapter. Please bless me with knowledge, right? Bless him.
Blood Angels and faction. Probably right. Imperial God.
There you go. Master Gawa says, I love my Genesis. I beat Eternal Champions. There you go. I'm Vicar says 3 months feels like 3 decades for being a member. Sorry, haven't been able to watch live lately. P.S. Golden Axe equals best Sega Genesis game. Thank you very much, I'm Dickers. Spider Bro says, bro, that electricity bill is going to be lit. Yeah, I really am curious. I wonder if he ever shared his electricity bill. DB Wild says, Craig, as a connoisseur of OG gaming tunes, you need to look into the music from D&D Warriors of the Eternal Sun on the Genesis. Such a great OST. I'll save that one for Craig for later. Master Gawa says, if you sub to Disney Plus, you can't sue if Disney kills you. What? If you sub to Disney Plus, you can't sue if Disney kills you. Well, you're already dead, so how can you sue?
This was something that came up recently. A doctor apparently went to Disneyland and he had severe allergies. He was assured that the food he was giving was allergen free. It was not. He passed on. His wife then tried to sue Disney, and Disney is currently arguing in court that since he subscribed to Disney Plus, he has agreed to settle all legal disputes via arbitration.
Wow.
What a mess. Like, what an absolute joke. Is that yes. Like what an absolute evil company Disney is? Like, well, he was subscribed to Disney Plus, so it's okay. You know, it's okay. He's dead.
Yeah.
What a joke.
Marksman said, Blabs, did you say black people are also... No, I definitely did not say that. I said that they are sometimes called that as a racist insult. And I was comparing how art was also being called a racial slur at the same time. Definitely did not call anybody that. Thank you.
What happened in the last couple of minutes since I left?
Well, we found out that snow monkey, is that what it was? Snow monkey is a slur for arch.
Mountain monkey, actually.
Yeah, mountain monkey.
Okay, nice. Now we know.
Saying that that's also a slur and a racial. They're like cancel Blobs. Guys, I never said it. Can't cancel me. Also, you can't cancel someone who's like, nah, I screw that. I'm not against the canceling. But this one's for you, Craig. From DB Wild says, you need to look into the music from D&D Warriors of the Eternal Sun on the Genesis. Such a great OST.
Huh. So the Genesis soundtrack, to me, and just the music in general on the Genesis was always it had that twang to it, that meow. And I was not a big fan of that. I like the Super Nintendo sound chip considerably better than the Genesis sound chip back in the day. So, you know, I very rarely do I find something on the Genesis that I listen to and I'm like, oh yeah, that's really good. Like Castlevania Bloodlines is the first thing that really comes to mind where I'm like, oh, that's a great soundtrack right there. So yeah, I'll definitely look into it. Appreciate that. That's good stuff.
You good? So who was at your door? Was it SWAT?
It was SWAT. No, I was not swatted today. Everything is all right. But
was it like Jehovah's Witness?
Yes, they're like, open the fucking door. Hey, over on Rumble, Saint says, I found a Genesis in the trash a neighbor threw out. It had Sonic 1, Pac-Man 2, and Tasmania. Wow. Good find for free as well. And Mimic came in and says, so this guy has 400 plus game systems. Does he have a 90-foot long power strip? Right. You can only imagine the amount of, you said power going through his house on a day-to-day basis. But I guess he's also going to be there forever. Like you can't move once you plant 444.
Set that up.
Yeah. That's
you're like, well, guess I'm stuck here.
That's right. All right. Look, speaking of stuck here, we got a lot to get into today. So let's do it. Let's get into it. It's time for my favorite segment, your favorite segment, everybody in the world's favorite segment. It's time for Hard News. Hard News. All right. Hey, you remember like a month, 2 months ago when the Huak Tuah girl was all in the rage? You remember that, Arch?
I do remember that. I was unaware of what the meme was referring to until Yellow Flash Cast 10, I think, where I was informed about the realities of Huak Tuah.
You see, spitting on that thing, right? That was a thing, right? Well, she is, yeah. Oh yeah, it was. She was doing her best. She was doing her best to turn this into a career now. She is a full-fledged social media influencer. Lads, did you find her Instagram? I'm curious how many people are following her.
Oh, she's got a shit ton. Let me see if I can go and find her. Okay, real fast.
Because I mean, you got to remember, she did not plan on turning this into a career. She was just a side piece on somebody else's, interview, their channel over on X or Instagram, wherever it was. And but now she's making the rounds. She's just like a good old country girl who's spitting on that thing. But
she has 2.3 million followers. Here she is. This is her Instagram page, guys. Haley
She has
Welsh.
2.3 million followers.
And I'm one
on
of her
Instagram.
followers.
Oh. All right. Well,
But like
there it
she's
is.
been all over the place. All
Yes.
over.
She has been doing everything. Like she's been propped up and like hey, go get it. Go get it, lady.
Hey, yeah, like good for you. Why not?
Yeah. I mean, hey, if you can do it, do it. Well, she has been making the rounds on the podcast.
You know she's a crack
circuit.
baby?
A crack baby? What?
Yeah. There was an interview about it. I watched it. She was a crack baby. She says, my mama did crack. Let me see if I can find the reel. There's so many reels, right? Let's see.
I don't care. That there it is. I'm a crack baby. That was you just passed.
Oh, look, there it is.
Don't want her.
Is she an actual
Yeah, I'm a baby.
Are you?
Yeah. Why do you think I'm so funny?
You are like a genius marketer by accident.
Thank you.
Is this the key to making successful women in business doing crack?
I guess so.
Maybe this is your superpower.
Maybe.
Maybe we should prescribe crack to all pregnant women. Because a lot of women overthink things, right?
Yeah.
You just say it, it just comes out, it's authentic. We need to kill some brain cells. This is the way to make women successful. Some in utero, kill all those extra brain cells that just make you doubt yourself and be a perfectionist.
And then your baby's gonna come out of the womb like dabbing or something.
Just a star.
Yeah.
In utero makes stars.
I agree.
I did this all wrong. I didn't do drugs when I was pregnant. That was my mistake.
My mama
And
I have some hot takes on the idea of making women dumber, but let's leave that alone for now.
Told you she was a crack baby.
I feel like we're doing this podcasting thing all wrong.
I should be a crack baby. You should be a crack baby. We should all be crack babies together.
We're definitely messing up this podcast thing. If that's really what it comes down to. You know, I feel like Arch, were you a crack baby?
No, but more and more I'm convinced that I've been born in the wrong timeline.
New timeline. Yeah.
I agree. Well, that's not why we're going to talk about the Tuah girl.
You're welcome.
Yeah, thank you for that, Blabs. We all got a little bit smarter there, or dumber there. We'll listen to that.
Don't you feel so much more intelligent, though? It's like, wow.
Okay, so she was, yes, everyone feels more intelligent when talking about the Tuah girl, including this clip. She was on the Bill Maher podcast, who Bill Maher is like this political guy, right? Who's from America, really smarmy, he's had some base takes, but also he's also like super whatever, right? But the point is that Bill Maher had the Tuah girl on his podcast, and they just sit down and they talk about all sorts of things. And they started talking about rap music. And this was amazing to watch. I'm not going to lie. If she wasn't famous for the Tuah thing, she should be famous for this. And I don't really know how to say. Blabs, have you watched this?
I think I've seen a little bit of this one.
Okay.
There's a lot of Tuah interviews
Right.
going out there.
All right, here we go. And Arch, I'm going to pause this before we get to it. I'll come to you for your thoughts here. Here we go.
I like old rap though. I don't listen to much new rap.
What's old to you, old rap? To me, it's
Let's see.
Jay-Z and Tupac. No? You've heard of Jay-Z.
Yeah, and Tupac. I've heard of both of them. I just don't listen to them like that.
Yeah.
Besides that one song Jay-Z's in. It's like concrete jungle, wet dream, tomato.
Tomato.
So,
lyrics.
Arch, you know the song that we're talking about right there?
No, being a Norwegian, my relationship with rap is limited. To be fair, actually, there's we have Norwegian rap, believe it or not, in Norwegian. And we actually have some good groups, and one of them had an excellent lyric, which basically says, "What the hell am I doing singing rap music? I'm from Norway. The most dangerous thing I've ever done is receive a parking ticket." It's like, yeah, that's
all right. Well, this will
but
be.
I suspect that tomato was not the word there.
No, the actual correct lyrics are
Hold on.
Oh, is that part of the? Okay.
Yeah. Let's listen to how this goes.
It's like concrete jungle, wet dream, tomato. Yeah, about New York.
Okay, so that's obviously not the real lyrics. Blabs, what are the real lyrics to that song?
Concrete jungle where dreams are made of.
Instead of
Nito?
Yeah,
instead
but
of
like
concrete jungle,
that's like an old bit, like years ago. But I didn't know people still did that. Like, do that? Like,
concrete jungle, wet dream, tomato.
yeah,
You think that's
that
like
was a real bit like years ago off the lyrics where everyone's like, that's totally what it sounds like, even though I know the real lyrics. But it's like that was like 10 years ago, guys.
I've never heard that
Wait,
before.
you've never heard that?
But I'm gonna tell you this right now. I cannot not unhear this now.
It's
Like
true.
that. It's once it's done, it's done.
Concrete jungle, wet dream, tomato. Yeah, about New York.
Like that's I can't unhear it. Arch, do you know that
Yep.
song? Have you heard that song before?
Yeah, that was during the height of the popularity, I think. Everybody's heard that one, at least for moments.
Yeah, absolutely.
I can't believe you've never heard of the wet dream tomato thing.
No, I never heard it.
Wow.
Which is why I was like, wow, like that she should be ultra famous for this idiocracy.
Whole bit where everyone thought that was the actual lyrics because it sounds just like it. And it was, yeah.
I mean, it's a great song.
When I was in high school, yeah.
That's funny as shit. All right, well, look, I guess I missed out on that crazy intersection of hilarity right there. Nice. All right, let's move on to hey, everyone loves ourselves a good popcorn bucket, right, Arch? Huh? You like the popcorn buckets?
We don't have these in Norway.
No. Well,
most things don't exist in Norway, and this one I'm glad for.
Well, have you seen the obviously the Alien Romulus popcorn bucket? This is the one we've covered multiple times on the show, right? There's this one, which, pretty cool. Looks like a giant xenomorph head from Aliens. You pop that popcorn right on in there, and then you pop that butter in there, and you nom 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 nom, right? That's the idea of said popcorn bucket. Well, there's a new one that's been released, and I actually think this one is considerably cooler.
Yeah, I agree.
Feast your eyes on this son of a bitch. Look at that.
That is pretty cool.
That's pretty nice.
That's a popcorn bucket right there.
I wonder how heavy it is. Like,
I mean,
do you want that on your lap? Like, that's gotta be heavy.
It's lit up, looking good. Yeah, I mean, you clearly don't want this in your lap, right, as you're eating popcorn.
But
right?
like that is something really, really cool. Like for the Alien fans and collectors out there, I'm assuming it's battery operated. It's not like it's a giant glow stick that once it's done, it's garbage. That's really cool. You could just have that on your shelf like year round or like specifically for Halloween. Do we know the price?
It's a collector's item.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know the actual price, but I'll say this. One interesting thing about this, I was just thinking about it as we're looking at this thing lit up. It's obviously very frowned upon to have your popcorn in there while it's lit up because that implies that you're in a dark theater with lights on. You probably don't want to do that. So still very cool popcorn bucket. That would be a fun tier list to do, Blabs, is the popcorn bucket tier list.
Yeah.
Just throwing it out there. I think that would be a fun stream someday, extra thing. So just throwing it out there. I think that's nice stuff. Arch, which popcorn bucket would you rather have? That popcorn bucket or this popcorn bucket?
Yeah, the glow up one. The glow up one is better.
So that one is from Regals, is from what I'm understanding. And then AMC has a different one. Oh, there's so many of these. Look at that. I would share my screen, but there's so many ads popping up. But yeah, there's even another one, like another popcorn bucket that we haven't seen. Wow. Anyway.
Way to leave us all on the edge of our seat.
All right, let's see if I can like blow this up without all the ads popping. Hang on. So there's also this one. This one is kind of a nothing burger in comparison.
Uh-huh.
There's that one. It's very bland, but like, it's literally a popcorn bucket.
Yeah, it from a functionality standpoint, I think that popcorn bucket may be the best.
Yeah, exactly. Like that one's the most simple, the one that's actually a popcorn bucket, but it's probably like the least cool.
Yeah,
we should do a tier list. I'm down for that.
Okay.
They also have Alien Romulus glasses and things, but here's the thing: I want to know how much this shit costs. The collector inside of me wants to know.
That collector's this one, Arch, the one that we were just talking about with the color on it. How much would you pay for that?
$100.
Wow. $100 for that? Holy geez. Okay. Yeah. Okay. That's good stuff right there. I was gonna say like, I don't know, 30, 40
No,
bucks,
I
I
think
guess.
it's. Oh, I found it. Okay. Both the Xenomorph and the Epic Face Hugger bucket cost $34.99 or $39.99 filled with an added large popcorn. However, you'll have to be as quick as the bucket's already selling fast. Interesting. So there you go, guys. $34.99. I thought they'd be more expensive.
You know, Blabs, we do a little research maybe after the show today to see how much a custom popcorn bucket would cost. Because that would be so fun a side scroller's popcorn bucket. Just throwing it out. We could have we could do like the Deadpool versus Wolverine one, and it could just be my face with my mouth open, and you can reach into my mouth getting out your popcorn. It'd be
you
great.
Really want to put that out there? Your open mouth? You sure about that, bud?
No, of course not. Absolutely not. But that's the whole idea.
I don't know about that.
Hey, Ian,
weird people.
Ian came back with the 50 euro monies. Says functionality of a popcorn bucket. It's a fucking bucket. That's right. Let's go, Ian. Hey, thank you so much for your support. Let's stinking go. Really appreciate that. That is spectacular, Ian. Let's go. We got anything for Ian Blabs?
Oh, right. I'm so sorry, Ian. Sorry, I'm multitasking. Where are your titties? There you go. Duly noted.
There you go. Hey, Ian, thank you so much. Let's go. Everybody enjoy it. Praise Ian for bringing the goodness to you right there. Outstanding. Before we move on, that the guy came in and says, Craig, as a Genesis fanboy, go watch I don't know how to say that. I can't. Oh, yeah, it was protagonist uncle. Okay, Isekai Oji-san. Protagonist
Isekai Oji-san. Yes.
Okay, thank you, Arch. Protagonist uncle has been in a coma for 30 years. His first question: what happened to Sega? Funny and sadly underrated anime. That's funny. What happened to Sega? Thank you, the guy. Appreciate that. Kratos came into the tent, says, if you watch the full clip, she knows that those aren't the real lyrics. She's not that dumb, but I can't unhear it either. I'm singing it that way on purpose now. There you go, Kratos. Hey, good to see you, my big boy. And Anti-Hero came into the tent, says, do yourself a favor and work out. I'm a tiny bit older than Craig with a lot of wear on my body, but at least 20 minutes of workout a day keeps me pain-free, closer to Gyllenhaal than 99% my age. Let's go, Anti-Hero. Let's go. Love that, Gyllenhaal. Getting into that, Anti-Hero.
I have to share this real fast.
Oh, please,
so whilst you were, with the swap people, there was a super chat in regards to DDPY yoga. And I didn't know what DDPY yoga, but yoga says hi to us right now on Twitter. William says Diamond Dallas Page at DDP Yoga is a former professional wrestler. He came up with an exercise regimen called DDP Yoga. And look, Blobs, how do you know who you are, but you don't know who we are? Self high five to Stuttering Craig.
Hey, I know DDPY. Actually, yes, I did DDPY for a while. I love it. DDP Yoga is spectacular.
Hi.
Yeah, listen, DDP Yoga is like legit great. I have their program, got their online workout stuff, and it's like a cross between yoga and it kind of has some I don't know, it's more intense than yoga, right? Yoga is all about like stretching, but this is like you're like flexing and stuff.
Was it like CrossFit with yoga or something?
Not that intense. It's built like it has multiple levels associated with it. But yeah, DDPY, that I would love to have DDP on the show someday. DDP is a former professional wrestler, Diamond Dallas Page. He'd be a phenomenal guest, and we can bring him on and we can do like a DDPY yoga cell. That'd be really, really cool. I think it'd be great. Hey, you ever done any yoga before, Arch?
No, I'm not that kind of a human being. I did martial arts instead, like, a man or something.
Man, Arch just straight up throwing it out there right there.
I don't even do yoga, and I'm the woman. Listen, I just can't. Like Arch was saying before, everyone's all like, empty your mind. And I'm like, I'm a woman. That's literally impossible to do. So every time you're like, oh, just relax. I'm like, no, I have 20 things to do. And it just doesn't work. So I usually just like plank or shit, something like that, you know?
Art's coming out here like this.
Gay!
True, though. Actually true, though. It's an incredibly feminine thing to do.
Craig actually does yoga in his free time.
Not DDP yoga. Not DDP yoga is a manly thing, and anybody who's done it knows it's a lot different. Just throwing it out there. It's pretty good stuff.
So what you're trying to say though, Craig, is that you actually do normal yoga.
Yeah, that's actually, it's funny you mentioned that, Blaz, because there's a lot of crossover.
Arch just giggled a little bit. He's like,
there is a tremendous crossover, Blabs, in the Venn diagram of normal man versus DDP yoga. I'm telling you right now.
I'm not talking about DDP yoga. I'm talking about straight up normal yoga. That's what Arch and I are referring to. And you keep just swinging the conversation to the other type of yoga, which we are not currently discussing. Have you done normal yoga? And do you do normal yoga on a daily basis?
No, but I do stretch regularly. I think
that's
stretching
fine.
is very important.
Stretching is fine. That's actually, everyone should
all
stretch.
yoga is.
No, it's not.
It's more or less yoga. I mean, yoga is stretching. That's it. Just stretching a little more intensely.
Not.
That's all. It's not bad.
So you do yoga then, because you know exactly what it is, even though you're actually wrong about it.
I mean, I know the poses. I know like the downward dog and the cat poses and all that stuff. Yeah, of course. What? You got an issue with yoga?
Do you
Arch
see
is like
Arch?
Arch over here going.
There's nothing wrong with stretching whatsoever, right? Because everyone should stretch. It's actually very good for you. But however, Craig knowing all about the yoga. See, I'm starting to think you actually might be gay a little bit there, Craig. First of all, Scarlett Johansson's just fine. Then we have, I do yoga.
No, Blabs. There's a time and place for yoga. There's a time and place for yoga. That's all I'm saying. All yoga is just more intense stretching. That's it. It's just a little more, that's all. It's not like I busted out the goat and done goat yoga or anything like that.
I would totally do that. But like also as someone who's actually worked with lots of goats and, have shown goats and things, you would not be able to do yoga whatsoever. You'd be too busy trying to like make sure these guys don't do something stupid or shit on you,
That exactly. Have you seen the goat yoga?
I bet you've done.
No, I'm just with chat on this. That this will help you in prison, Craig. Particularly the downward dog, apparently.
Oh my god, man, that'd be fun. A yoga stream. Look, I'm just saying. Don't be hating on yoga. It's all it is stretching. Especially don't be hating on the DDPY.
This is Arch to Craig today.
So long, gay boys.
Yeah, so. Hey, Super Joe's midlife crisis came into the side scrollers popcorn bucket auto updates every day with this day in gaming history entries by Blabs that you can replace with better ones yourself. It's interactive. Let's go. Thanks, Super Joe. Appreciate that. That is great. Also, God damn it, I want a new name. Came into the 10, says best Sega Mega Drive game, the Shining Force series. Introduced 6-year-old me to turn-based strategy / RPG games and anime. Also, Streets of Rage, making police brutality socially acceptable. Let's go. Thanks. Appreciate that greatly. Commodore fan came in with a 3, says DDPY, Diamond Dallas Page is an ex-WCW WWE wrestler. His yoga workouts are good for stretching. Y'all should try them, right? It's helped some with my back after a major auto accident back at the end of 22. See, I'm telling you, it's good stuff.
DDPY just followed me on Twitter.
Let's go. He better get following me, that DDPY. Just don't. And CG Hero came in with the 5, says, not just because animation is superior, but Airbender live action also butchers Sokka's character by removing sexist jokes. Also, they turned a lot of women into annoying girl bosses.
Yeah, they ruined Ahsoka.
Mm-hmm.
Did they say Ahsoka? They did, right? Or
they
is
said
somebody else?
Ahsoka. Yeah. And Jay Reds came in and says, "Hey, Craig, thought I'd share this with you. Might be a bit of good news. There's a video going around of this guy, Greg Miller from Kind of Funny Games, calling PC gamers PDFs for modding their games and ruining the game devs' original vision." Okay, so Yeah, and we can talk about that another time. But yeah, I have seen the video. I do know Greg Miller. I've known him for a long time. Well, let's see. I've been an acquaintance of Greg Miller for a long time. Did he jump off the crazy train around 2020? Yes, he did. And is he right in the heart of San Francisco? Yes, he is. Is he a product of the surrounding? Yes, he is. Is he a shill? Yes, he is. With that said, that video that you see is Greg Miller he's totally in character. That's all he's trying to do. He plays a great bad guy character, and him saying those things did exactly what that clip was supposed to do, which was get publicity for Kind of Funny Games. So yes, I'm totally familiar with it. Nathan came in and says, there's a video of a disabled paratrooper who was able to walk again after DDP yoga for years. Yes, that is true. Also, Dallas straight up says that his is more focused on being active than the spiritual crap. This is true. Yes. Thank you, Nathan. Absolutely. We need Blabs. Let's get DDP on the show.
Yeah, it's already on my sticky note.
Let's go. All right. Let's keep on moving on here. Now, Arch, I know that you are not a big fan of the console gaming, but you have to admit that the Switch has had a great run over its 7 years.
Well, do I have to admit this?
I
think there's a way around it.
I guess technically you don't. Well, it's done pretty good.
It was a brilliant marketing thing. Like it filled an extremely good niche in the market. It came in as like, hey, I think there's a market for this. I'm going to fill it, and it kind of ate all of the other consoles to lunch. I'll admit that. But for gaming overall, I think it might have been more of a destructive force, along with consoles in general.
I love it. I love how you're like F the consoles, just straight up Homer Simpson all the way down. I love it. Well, the sequel to the Switch, Arch, you don't give a damn. I'll just why even tell it? Why even talking this story? You don't care. The Switch 2 is not coming out till next year. Who cares? Let's go. Let's keep moving on.
I'm actually curious. I didn't click on the link to be surprised on the show.
They're just saying don't expect it before April 2025. So pretty much you can expect it probably over the summer or
in like 6 months, guys.
Wow.
Well, they'll announce it probably in early January. And anyways,
Arch is like
Arch, we've given this has been the throw up show for Arch as he's been vomiting constantly.
Listen, that was me yesterday. Now it's somebody else's turn.
Oh, great! Hey, great segue, Blabs.
Welcome,
Arch. You a coffee guy?
No.
Do you like mayonnaise?
Mayonnaise.
Yeah, are you familiar with mayo?
No, well, I'm a plain Jane. I eat everything properly separated. The piece over here, potatoes, meat. Sauce is usually sandwiches. Oh, dry, of course.
What does that mean? What does a dry sandwich mean?
Just the sandwich and then the spread, like the meat, cheese.
So no sauces?
No.
Do you like pickles?
No.
All right. Well, yesterday we had a really interesting conversation. There's a American football player here in the United States that's launching a new fragrance that's built around it's the smell of mayonnaise because he likes to put mayonnaise in his coffee. I can't even believe I said that statement. It's the grossest thing in the world.
Can we move on? I don't want to throw up again. Thank you.
Okay. Yes. Okay, we will. Anyways, all right, Arch, did you ever play RuneScape?
No, I haven't.
Well, RuneScape, obviously, it's pretty prominent. So much so that they have a version called OG RuneScape, which RuneScape that right now, if you're to look at look at it over on Steam charts right now, it has over 2,000 people playing it right now. The RuneScape game itself. This is the updated version of it along the way. Well, we've talked a lot about identity politics and identity and all these things along the way. And there's been an update to OG RuneScape where now, guess what? You, for the first time ever, can self-identify better with OG RuneScape by adding your pronouns. So here we are. This, by the way, this is what the game looks like. This is what the game looks like. There are now 2 body types, and it now gives you your ability to go in and add your. Now it's not just male or female. It's body type A versus body type B, and then you can add the pronouns. So this dude, blatantly obvious dude, can be a she, her, if you deem it worthy to help identify who is this for. Arch, any thoughts?
Well, it's the current year, isn't it? This is a game I just looked up, 2001, so it is old as everlasting hell. And it's not for anybody. It's for like 0.1% of the player base at the cost and the expense of the 99.9% remaining of the player base. And it's a virtue signal, isn't it? Somebody in the office thinks like, okay, this will be totally popular amongst the they-thems. Like, okay, but will anyone else like it? But at least this doesn't take away from anybody else, I guess. So, well, that's something at least.
I would just like to point out that Arch just said that a game in 2001 is incredibly old, which is what I also say, but I get roasted for it. But I just want to let everyone know that Arch also said it. Thank you, Arch.
You're really picking and choosing your battles here today, Blabs. I'll tell you what.
I'm winning, though, Mr. Yoga Boy over there.
Hey, don't be bashing yoga. Don't be bashing.
The normal yoga I will bash because why not?
Yeah. Well,
see, the only reason why I say it's old is because I had a moment of self-introspection yesterday while showering. I was like, because I was thinking about the nade shot thing, and I was like, oh, but old games from the 2000s, that's not that old. And then I'm like, oh, that was 24 years ago. I am old.
Right.
See,
right.
that's what I'm saying though. Like games that came out in the early 2000s are already over 20 years old, guys.
Yeah,
that's considered old.
Yes, they are considered retro at this point, which goes back to the idea of like, why even do this at all? And that's been the response to all this is like, and Grum's had this over on X, and I think this is pretty accurate. He says, if RuneScape patching an ancient game to have pronouns and body types is such a big nothing at all, then why do it? Why do it in the first place? Oh, it's optional? Yeah. Really, try making a mod on Nexus mods that removes the pronouns and just see how optional this trend is, right? The idea of like, Nexus mods has removed the pronoun mods. Like, what are we doing? It's so optional these days. So,
well, it's the appeal to triviality. It's like, oh, it doesn't matter. Why do you care? Well, I care because this isn't what I signed up to. That's why. And it was a very successful strategy for a very long time, particularly in like gaming and fantasy spaces, because they could come in and go like, oh, why do you care? It's just a silly fantasy franchise. And most of us were shamed by that because we'd grown up when this wasn't cool. And so it's like, you couldn't really defend. It's like, oh, but it's Lord of the Rings, though. It's like part of my childhood. Like, but it's just fantasy. Why do you care? Yeah, we need to care. Otherwise, it will just expand.
Right. And that's what a lot of this comes down to is, you'll be interested. I'll be very interested to see if people actually, push back against this, if they make the change. Because here's the thing. Once you cross that line as a company, you can't go back because then you're like, wow, they go, oh, or we were bullied. We were bullied into making this change. I think you were bullied into making this change to begin with, right? This isn't about making people feel welcome or identifying, or this is about ostracizing and promoting your game, like getting people back to it. Will they see a spike of players? Yes, because people want to see this for themselves. But I don't think it'll be a positive spike, and this will be one of those things that kind of happens. And this is just another example, as you said, Arch, of today, like today in gaming history. OG RuneScape adds pronouns to the game, a game that's 23 years old, right? It's like going back and adding pronouns to Street Fighter 2 and making Dalsum a they them along the way, or something along those lines. This doesn't make a whole lot of sense. So,
well, I kind of just equate this to going back and changing lore altogether. Like, right? If it,
Yeah.
why are you changing it just because you can? Well, that's stupid. It's like changing the lore, changing the race, any type of like alteration of something that already exists is just plain old stupid and lazy.
Right. And Denny points out with the massive $20 super chat, says the body type AB thing is so weird. If gender isn't real, then why be trans? Why do male to female trans people have to have all purses and have the frilliest dresses? Gender is nothing more than a social construct, right? Thanks, Denny.
Because
Appreciate
those
that.
people have a fetish.
That's right.
It goes back to why does body type B always feel the need to hide its chest for some reason?
Speaking of, here is body type B for reference, which means female. And by the way, why is the female the B type? Couldn't it be the A type? You sexist. They're so sexist, Plads.
Inferior.
That's right. They're
That right?
The
Inferior,
B team
I should
over here.
say. Inferior. I'm just retarded. I'm a woman. Sorry. Inferior.
Maybe your mama needed to do a little more crack. Blab.
I need to be a crack baby.
Yeah. Anyways, well, that's just another example of literally history and gaming being rewritten in today's society. Now, here we are. That's what it is. It's fucking insane. Khalif came in and says, at least Gregorian isn't getting bronified by chat. Steers at Archibald, but hey, noticing things as evil. Dune Popcorn Bucket first place on the tier list. Thank you, Khalif. Appreciate it.
Because it looks like a butthole. Is that why?
Looks like a lot of things, but you can use your imagination on that, which is great. And then we got Proctofile came in at the 5, says, I wouldn't knock yoga too hard. I've tried most basic forms of exercise, and yoga is way harder than lifting weights or combat sports. You got to appreciate how well-rounded the benefits are. That said, it's still too hard for me to do. Thanks, Proctofile. Yeah.
No, it actually is hardcore. I'm totally just playing with Greg over here because I like to inspire the contract.
She's just busting my balls. That's all. All right.
Yes.
All right, let's move on. Let's move on to today.
By the way, we never talked about the Taco Bell song out of sauces.
Yeah, I know. We can talk about that tomorrow. It's okay. We have time.
I just thought Arch would really like it. That's all.
We'll pull it up.
Fine, I will.
Arch, do you have Taco Bell where you live?
No, we do not.
See, then he doesn't even understand. He won't understand.
Yeah, but the point of it is that they're actually making a song. We're gonna share this right now.
Okay, let me give you a little back. Hold on.
Oh, okay.
Let me give you a little background here, Arch. So there's this place called Taco Bell. It is a fast food restaurant that serves trash tacos, right? And everybody eats them because at one time they were cheap, right? But you go through the drive-through and you pick up 10 tacos for $10 or whatever it is now. It's probably more than that. But this is like the American fast food Mexican restaurant, right? By the way, is there Mexican restaurants in Norway?
No. The only reason why I even know what a Taco Bell is in theory is because I saw one in the Demolition Man movies.
All right, let's go. All right, so have you ever had Mexican food before?
God, no.
Oh, holy shit. My God. Okay. Listen.
No, he says. I really like Arch, guys.
This is what we're doing.
He's so strong in his beliefs. It's fantastic. Thank you.
Arch,
thank you.
Listen, we need to bring you to the United States.
No way. Listen, Arch is safe over there. He is actually more cultured than the average American. Let's be real here, guys.
No. Listen. This would be phenomenal content. We bring Arch over. Bring him to Dallas, right? This is an epicenter of great food, right? We give you barbecue. We give you Mexican food, right? We do the whole gamut all the way down the line as you're eating your sandwiches without any sauces on it. We stuff you to the brim and have you Norwegian tries American cuisine. I think that's phenomenal content.
You're not like helping his cause here. He's like, this sounds horrible. I'm never doing that. See, he's not lying. He's like, yeah, Bubs is right. She's right.
Mexican food is what we call slop. Too much mixed together.
Too much. What are you talking about?
It's so refreshing to have someone else with strong opinions. Thank you.
Mexican food is the best food. Are you kidding me?
That's an opinion, not a fact.
That's very much so an opinion, yes. A wrong one, too.
I mean, it's so good. Mexican food is so good. At its core, Mexican food it's chips, it's tortillas, it's cheese, it's rice, it's lettuce, it's meat of some kind, right? And it comes in various forms, whether it's a taco, whether it's a burrito, whether it's a quesadilla. I'm just saying it's the best. It would be phenomenal content, Arch. Anyways, with that said, so Taco Bell is the cheap version of that over here in the States, the fast food variety. And when you go through Taco Bell, you can get a hot sauce to go along with it. It's kind of like, it's called a salsa, right? A salsa or a hot sauce that you put.
Listen, he eats his food dry, but yes, I think he understands what you're talking about, Craig.
Well, I don't know. I'm just saying.
He's an intelligent human.
Tabasco sauce once. It was too much for me.
Once. Okay, so imagine it's like a Tabasco sauce, and there's various flavors of it. Anyways, on the Taco Bell little sauces of packets, they have these little quirky sayings on them. Right, they're say like, "Oh, you're spicy" or something along those lines, and it's supposed to be quirky and funny. So, with all that said, now Blabs, give us what we're looking at here.
All right, so this group of guys, who, by the way, have been recognized by both Taco Bell and Taco Bell Canada, they've commented on it. They made a song just straight up, like from the sauce's name. So, like the little packets have a name on it. That's what they sing the song on. It's actually pretty brilliant. So here we go. This is the best I can do.
Yeah, go ahead.
There we go. Okay.
Making an emo song from these.
With only Taco Bell hot sauce packets. Let's go on an adventure, 'cause you soak in me. Oh, the anticipation on the count of 3. Say yes to forever. That was always the plan. It's a secret, so prove it. I like it, I get it. Let me hold your hand. Too bad you're not single. Hear it from me. Current mood is you're cute, and I double dog dare you to marry me.
That's pretty intelligent, though. I'm not gonna lie. Anyway, the end.
That was awful. I hate you now.
Wow. Okay. Rejected by Arch. That wasn't on my bingo card for today.
That was awful. Please clip that. Clip that and put it in there. Let's go. Ian came back once again with the 50-year-old's money. He says, Arch, do you have or have you had? It's becoming my favorite segment. Let's go. Yes, I agree. Arch, tell me more about the craziness of the city that you live in. Please tell me more. This is great. Let's go. Thank you so much, Ian. That is great. It's like a whole new world for me listening to that. That's great stuff. Thank you, Arch. For that. All right, let's move on to.
You should come to Norway sometime instead, so I can show you a civilized nation.
Can we do both? Like it'd be like we'll do a swap. You come to the United States, I'll feed you a bunch of food. Then I go to Norway. Blabs, you can go to Norway. We'll go.
Yeah.
We'll eat a bunch of food. It'll be great.
I'm down.
Okay, just throwing it out there. I think it sounds good. If you like fish. Dried fish in particular, right? I'm just saying. That's kind of a thing.
I don't like fish. Is there plenty of shrimp for me to eat? That's fine.
Arch, I don't know about, but we do have rotten fish, salted rotten fish.
Yes, sounds.
I'm gonna starve when I go to Norway.
All right, let's move on to today in Mr. Beast. As the Mr. Beast saga continues, it has been nonstop along the way, as we've had ups and downs, and mostly downs along the way. And there's he said and she said, and the Chris Tyson stuff, and the it's just it's a never-ending story of chaos and debauchery and broken promises and dreams. As this came out yesterday from Drama Alert, the idea that Chris Tyson's partner leaked response to drama has surfaced online allegedly. Now, this is a Chris Tyson's girlfriend or boyfriend. I don't quite
just say
know.
friend. It's easier.
Partner.
At the end of the day, it's just a couple dudes with mental issues, right? So
that looks fucking normal. That's totally normal. It's like,
yeah,
no.
These are not normal men right here. Let's just be real, all right? Not normal men. With that said, they have allegedly spoken out, and there's multiple, like, these are kind of the bullet points along the way, and it says Mr. Beast is afraid of inflaming a situation that could anger their corporate investors. Hey, do you know Mr. Beast has corporate investors? Did you know that? It's not just like this like little guy who's making a ton of money from YouTube. He has actual corporate investors along the way. Found this interesting. Chris Tyson is, quote, disgusted by the person that Chris Tyson used to be, allegedly. And there's some other things in here that are interesting. It says the corporate investors currently do not want Ava or Chris Tyson to have any social media presence for a number of years. I thought Chris Tyson left the company. What's it matter? Like, at this point, didn't Chris Tyson leave the company? So how can any corporate investors have any say over to what Chris Tyson posts on social media?
The peer pressure, basically. But from their point of view, of course, Mr. Beast was a child-facing brand. You know, his entire shtick was around using his clout and his personality to bring kids on board with his brand. That's, of course, a gold mine for corporations, obviously. But the moment you throw in people messaging minors inappropriate content, that somewhat undermines the whole point. Just a little bit.
What if, in whatever Mr. Beast's contracts, there is, even after you leave the company for X amount of years, you still have to have this type of social media presence?
A non-compete or an NDA or something
some type
would
of
be normal.
Like for X amount, like 3 years after you leave that company, you still have to be on your best behavior, or else liabilities, suing, something like that. Maybe it's
morality clauses, yeah.
Yeah. It is possible.
You know, I guess that's possible, but I don't know in this situation with like, maybe as part of Chris leaving the company, he had to sign some sort of agreement that said, you know, I will not do this. There's a distinct possibility in that, and by that he'd be under some sort of contract. But this whole thing is just such a it continues to go. And there's some other like bullet points along the way in here, including says Mr. Beast's team is preventing Chris from allegedly talking. Says any response from Ava would flare up stuff again. And apparently the first apology from Chris Tyson, the tweet was allegedly entirely written by Mr. Beast execs under insane pressure from Amazon and other corporate investors. So it was very, very corporate in the response, which is what a lot of people said. There was no acknowledgement of wrongdoing along the way. It was just a very vanilla statement that, you know, it even stuff like this flares all this up again. And I think people are waiting for this to climax at a certain point. Like, something has to be done with Mr. Beast. There's too much smoke in this situation. And, you know, where there's smoke, there is certainly fire. I don't know. What do you think the end goal? What do you think is going to happen here, Arch, with Mr. Beast?
I'm surprised that there hasn't been any sort of like investigation launched into him, because there was a video that went over a lot of his videos and showed multiple violations of was the lottery rules? Because there's all kind of rules for giving away stuff on YouTube. I just wanted to give away a handful of comics a few months ago, and I had to read through a whole list of like, you got to do this, you got to do this, you got to do this. It's like, holy shit, okay. I don't think he does any of that. So he's clearly in violation of quite a few regulations here. And again, you would think with everything that's coming out now, I mean, he sounds like he'd be absolutely radioactive to corporations. I mean, even just the simple part about targeting children and exploiting the fact that children don't really know what's going on in this hazard betting game, almost like where you're like, oh, you can totally win $100. You just gotta buy one of my chocolates or whatever. But they might also be that they've put so much money in the collaborations now that they're like, okay, we've just got to try and push this out there so we have a product to regain the millions we already poured in. Because, hell, normally companies would not stay near to people that are this controversial.
No, and you're right. I think he's pretty radioactive at this point. I can't imagine there being any sponsors, and he's launched, obviously the Feastables and Mr. Beast, Mr. Beast Burger, and now there's like a toy line that's out. These are all companies that they've launched internally because number one, they were taking up companies' entire advertising budgets for the year from one video, because at a certain point, you just can't afford to advertise on something with that huge of a reach. So you might as well make your own company. So when it comes to corporate, partners like Amazon, the idea that they are, they're giving them money to produce content, right? They're a content producer in that world, a production company. And so I can see the hesitation for any sort of production company or any sort of parent company wanting to spend money on Mr. Beast right now, for sure. And I think Mr. Beast is right in the situation where he's like, everybody just needs to shut up and do their job. But it's an ongoing saga, and it will continue. And it's like every day there's something new, which is why we have our Today in Mr. Beast segment, because it's fucking stupid. So
eventually, though, that's the thing. This is the reality of the situation, right? Whether it be with politicians or any prominent figures, there's a level at which they have no longer got the influence required to protect them from legal action. And that's probably what we're saying with Mr. B. So we'll see if his influence armor is thick enough, or if we'll eventually get to the various legal arms looking into him.
It'll be real interesting to see the trickle-down effect with Mr. Beast to other YouTubers, smaller YouTubers, us, along the way. We've had a couple different adpocalypse along the way. Is Mr. Beast, as he crossed over that threshold to where he's like, oh, he's no longer a YouTuber. I mean, he's literally the biggest YouTuber. He's the face of YouTube. So you wonder if all this stuff will have bigger brands, your Cokes, your Pepsis, your pharmaceutical companies. Will they be pulling back from advertising on YouTube because of this nonsense? So we'll see.
That's a good point. I don't view him as a YouTuber because he's a corporate marketing arm at this point. But I am sure the mainstream media, who wants YouTube to fail so that they can continue to thrive, will certainly paint him as such.
Yes. All right. From one YouTuber who's been going through controversy to another, let's go to Dr. Disrespect. This just happened a little bit ago. There was some news last week that he updated his header, right? He's kind of done a few things over the last couple of weeks to get people talking about him again. He stepped away at the tail end of a couple months ago after the allegations associated with him. And he put this tweet out on July 31st, the idea of him playing chess and other people playing checkers. Then he updated his header here, and the header included his tweet that included the Twitch ban tweet that he put out, or the X. And now he has gone and removed that post that he had. This is from Jake Luck. He says, Dr. Disrespect has now deleted his Twitch ban statement in which he admits it into inappropriate messaging a minor. So yes, if you go to his page, you'll see that tweet has been fully deleted along the way. So you wonder what I think that's exactly, he's trying to get people to talk about him, right, and build up excitement for a potential return. I don't know. Is there anything to this, Arch? Any idea? Is he playing chess while we're playing checkers over here?
I think he's partially correct, even if he's overestimating perhaps the complexity of his moves here. Because he's probably building up anticipation, as you say, and he's also just pointing out, listen, this is the internet. I was the topic for about 5 minutes. If I simply just remove all of this now and I come back and act as if nothing has happened, 90% of people will never even have heard of this, and he's probably right. This is kind of the same thing with the Mr. Beast thing you mentioned. The best thing to do when you're in a controversy is usually just to shut up and move on with your life. I mean, I feel like Darkside Phil is a beautiful example of this.
Yes. Apparently, Phil, I've only seen this from afar, but apparently Phil's on a very high redemption arc right now, where he's like, people have, he's been on another show recently, and they've become like little BFFs and stuff. So, like, good for him, good for Phil, and all the insanity associated with him. But yes, sometimes it's best just to put your head down and just keep doing your work. So, all right. Well, Labs, you got anything on that?
Nope. Wood chippers.
Okay, wood chippers all. Marksman came in and says lottery rules apply to TV. YouTubers are yet to be covered. When does a YouTuber become on par with a network is the question. I think that's the law is the law. Lottery law applies to everybody regardless, not just TV networks, right? So, I've been very mindful of this as well. So I mean, I don't know the proper answer, but I don't think we've seen, and maybe I'm wrong, Blaz, maybe do a little digging on this to see if there's any content creators that have had any sort of governmental action with any sort of giveaways that could be considered a lottery or something along those lines. It's an interesting question for sure, because on the surface, it seems very black and white, right? Either you do this or you don't. But there's been a lot of gray since the internet and YouTube in particular and streaming have become a thing for sure. So
as a quick Google search, I don't see anything.
Okay. Nathan,
the only thing I know, just to interject again, is that when I was trying to do a giveaway, and as you mentioned too, YouTube lists rules that you need to comply with. So there's clearly some sort of regulation in place here, even for just mere YouTubers.
Yeah, great point. Great point. All right, let's go to move on. But first, Nathan came in for $9.99. It says, Gary has a source in Amazon that claims that Ring of Power, Wheel of Time were such big disasters that they went to Mr. Beast to try to save Prime Video. The situation has them worried, allegedly. Huh.
That makes a certain amount of sense. I've got an insider within Amazon myself who basically said that after the Rings of Power, the phone lines of the CEO's office was ringing off the hook with investors going like, you promised us this was a surefire hit. What the hell? Yeah. And the Wheel of Time, boy, it is a stinker. So I could absolutely see them like looking at their marketing going like, okay, what's in with the kids these days? Well, there's this YouTuber. And you know what? I hope that's true because God, I want nothing but the worst for Amazon Video.
That's a great way to say it. I want nothing but the worst. All right. Speaking of the worst, we saw the trailer for Disney's Snow White released a few days ago. Have you seen the trailer for the quote live action Snow White?
I did. It's an intriguing little thing, isn't it?
Yes, to say the least. And by intriguing, you mean people just clearly have no interest in being a part of this at all.
I will give it one positive thing. The whistle echoing in the trailer. I thought that was kind of cool. Like, the whistle while you work, the theme, like kind of faded in there as an echo. I like that. The rest of it, nope.
I'll say this. The music in it is it's like a remix of the classic song, right?
Mm-hmm.
But it has that
unnecessary,
the big bass moments on it, and it is what it is. But the trailer has been just absolutely wrecked, specifically on YouTube, with a thumbs up, thumbs down ratio of 65,000 up, 44,000 down. And we talked about that on the show, and it will continue to get worse. Continues to get worse.
Question, since I don't have this type of the extension, what is the Little Mermaid?
The Little Mermaid one? Let's see.
Yeah, the live action Little Mermaid. I'm just curious to see if we're following the same trend.
Sure. The Little Mermaid trailer from 1 year ago has actually it is bad, but it is still better. The Little Mermaid trailer has Has that movie come out yet? By the way, it did come out.
Little
didn't it?
Mermaid. It came out. It went. It was,
Okay, that had 374,000 thumbs up, 2 million thumbs down. And if you look at the like in comparison, pay attention to the little the colors on the bottom. You can see the Snow White one is actually worse. So as far as the actual ratio itself. So anyways, with that said, you talk about Insufferable. Rachel Zegler, who is playing Snow White in the movie, had this post on Instagram. And, the whole thing behind Snow White is who's the fairest of them all, right? And so she posted over on Instagram, the fairest, by the way, with this post right here. Great marketing for this. And she promptly got ratioed along the way. So, Arch, we had this conversation yesterday. It was a very intense conversation talking about attractive women in movies. And we talked about Rachel Zegler, but we also talked about Gal Gadot. And Gal Gadot plays the, I don't know if it's Gal Gadot or Gal Gadot, whatever it is. She is the evil queen in this movie. And a lot of people say, no, she is the fairest of them all when it comes to this. Here she is. You can see kind of the back and forth. So, Arch, just a quick, which do you feel is the fairest of them all? I by the way, I think this is the nicest picture of Rachel Zegler that you will find.
Well, actually, before we continue, I found her Instagram, and there's more to this, which is exciting. So, first of all, that post, the screen grab, this is the full thing. So it's just photos of her. First of all, derp. But lots of that. Photos. She's the fairest of them all. Look at her. So fabulous. OMG, I'm the fairest. But it gets better. So on Twitter, she was all like, oh, I'm in rehearsals for Romeo and Juliet. I'm so Juliet. That's pretty insufferable. I'm sorry. That day one of rehearsal. Check time. So Juliet. Yes. Comments on this post have been limited.
We talk about insufferable people pretty regularly on this show, right? In the power ranking of insufferable people in Hollywood, she's up there, right? She's of the you're what's wrong with this whole thing. Arch, you got any thoughts on is she just doing what social media is built for? The idea of everyone being a sociopath and built around them. Look at how great my life is. I don't know. Love to hear your thoughts on Rachel Zegler, Arch.
Well, it's definitely a little bit. I mean, back in the day, we used to have the saying, there is no such thing as bad PR. I don't think that's true anymore because reaching people is no longer the problem. It's keeping them on side. That's really the issue here. But it's also just poor casting all around. Rachel Zegler is not a very good fit for Snow White, for obvious reasons. And Gal Gadot would probably have been a better fit as well, because, of course, the entire point of Snow White, the fairest of them all, isn't even in terms of beauty. It's referencing specifically to a particular form of beauty of light skin and how it contrasts with her deep, dark lips and her raven black hair. And, I mean, at least she's got the hair, so 1 out of 3 is Hollywood standard, I guess.
Yep. I think this is setting up for a tremendous failure for Disney again when it comes to this movie. No matter how much they reshoot. Blabs, your face of disgusting. What's going on?
Yeah, I've been looking at her Instagram. She, her, hers. I'm so Juliet in her bio. I'm sorry, but this girl needs a whooping. A whooping.
And you're going to give it to her, huh, Blabs?
No, I don't think I would. I think she needs to get in a ring and box. Yo, Keem, can you make this happen, Keemstar? Get her with some boxer and just, a woman boxer. Maybe Gina Carano. I'm just saying.
Just saying. I think. Yeah, I think that. We. Or, I'm just saying, they're on the same team for sure. But you can get her in the ring with Alyssa Mercante.
Oh yeah, but Alyssa would probably hit on her and try to make out.
Right.
So
You're
she's
so
like, "Oh my god,
hot.
you're so hot." Hello, just like,
You want to
oh
see
my god,
pictures
she
of my
touched me.
boobs? All right. Okay. Let's go and move on to our cover story today. As this story has just been nuts over the last month or so. You know, the Olympics happened and there was a lot of controversy. There's a lot of laughing. We laughed at the Australian breakdancer. Archie, did you see the Australian breakdancer?
Oh yeah, and that's I'll put it in the private chat here too. That's also becoming quite the controversy because apparently she may have been part of the selection committee over there and having blocked other people, far more talented people, incidentally, from performing, which makes sense because there is no way that is the best breakdancer in all of Australia. Like, bullshit.
No, absolutely not. Which is amazing to see. And she's been and by the way, she's talking about I saw a quick hit about her wanted to go to the IOC and she was upset she got zeros, for her score, but whatever. Regardless, we laughed at a lot of stuff, but this was definitely the biggest talking point of the Olympics, which was the gold medal winning female boxer, Imane Khalif. Now, there was a lot of controversy around chromosomes when it comes to this person. If she was XX or he or whatever, XX or XY obviously being male. There was a lot of conversation around this. The idea if she's intersex or if she was trans and now she's not trans, but she's intersex or something, or there's like this the point is that apparently at the end of the day, she, I guess it's not she, this person has XY chromosomes, right? And this person won the gold medal, beating up a bunch of women who have XX chromosomes. So a lot of people had a lot of hot takes about this online. And this boxer is not happy about this, to the point to where the Olympic boxing champion, this is from the Associated Press, says has filed a legal complaint for online harassment on her. And this includes a ton of people, Blabs. Did you want to give us a rundown of this story?
Yeah, so basically, because literally the dude has Imane in his name. It's literally Imane. Anyway, is filing. Sorry, but it's true. This person is filing against specifically Elon Musk, J.K. Rowling. Now somehow they had to bring in Donald Trump in there, but he's not specifically mentioned. But like, oh well, Donald Trump commented on it, and I believe so did was it Logan Paul, one of the Paul boys, did it. And he deleted his tweet afterwards. But yeah, so a lot of these big shots are getting called in for this. But the most interesting thing is that they're basically saying, even with people with fake names, we're looking at you. And even if you're from overseas, we're going to extend a helping hand to our friends, across the pond, the America, and be like, yo, help us out, prosecute these people, basically. But it's like, I don't think you can do that, bro. That's not how it works. So, yeah, it'll be interesting. So, apparently, since now I actually said something about this man, maybe I'm a big doo-doo too.
Yeah, you could be sued or something for saying naughty things online.
For speaking biological facts.
Well, the complaint was filed with a special unit of the Paris prosecutor's office for combating online hate speech, allegedly, quote unquote, aggravated cyber harassment. That's a thing now, apparently. Targeting Khalif. In a statement, the lawyer says it was described as misogynistic, racist, and sexist campaign. So we have literally all of the ists thrown into this campaign here, thrown up against.
I never saw anything about race. I'm just going to point that out there.
No, absolutely
Weird.
not.
Weird.
Never once. Khalif said that the spread of misconceptions about her harms human dignity. So there we are. I played a lot of Halo back in the day, and there are many times where I would get teabagged, if you will. I would like to say that I feel like that harmed human dignity along the way as well. I just want to throw that out there. All you virtual cyber bulliers over there. Arch, are you like, and this is a legit question. You're over there on the other side of the world. Are you like kind of scared to talk about this stuff?
Well, Norwegian law, see, we don't actually have freedom of speech. We don't even have the idea of like fair use. We have something called siteringsrett, which is a far more limited version of fair use. But we also have a very lazy and small police force, thank God. We're kind of the German level where everything is illegal, but the police don't actually bother with anything. So I should be fine, I hope.
Okay. I mean,
the thing with this person too is, because let's say that she's saying the truth when she's got this very rare condition that means that she's actually a woman, but her body's like set up in like a 0.1% difference, so she has far higher testosterone. Okay, let's take this as face value. Right. Well, we are still going to ban her from participating in the Women's Olympics because she has too high of a testosterone level, because that is how we determine whether or not the competition is fair. And I want to point out she was actually banned from the, not the Olympics, but the, what was the other one? The
World Boxing.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, because she wasn't allowed to participate in that because, like, no, you have far too high testosterone. You're going to have more muscle mass. You're going to have more endurance than the other female boxers. We're not going to allow you. It's like, okay, that sucks for the individual. You are a 0.something% deviant. That is unusual. But we've got to make the arbitrary standard something. And if you, who looks like a man, comes in the ring, beats the shit out of a woman in 40 seconds and makes her tap out, it's not a competition at that point, now is it?
Exactly.
You know, okay, this is not an apples to oranges comparison, right? But I'm going to use it because this is the first thing that came to mind as you're talking about sucks. It sucks sometimes, right?
Yeah.
So my kids just went back to school, and the school district that they are in is really cracking down on dress code this year, right? Specifically, you know, with girls, they have to have shorts on that go to their mid thigh, right?
Good.
My daughter, what's that?
Good.
Yeah. So my daughter is very tall. It is very hard to find shorts that go down to her mid thigh that fit her body type. She is the exception for her grade. She is extremely tall for her age. And when that was announced, it was like, ugh. And my response was, sorry. Like, I'm sorry, it sucks, but it has to happen because there's a greater, you know, this isn't about you. It's about everybody. And we had to have that conversation of like, look, it's really inconvenient for us. It is. But at the end of the day, this is for a greater good that is associated to, you know, making sure that other girls aren't showing their butts, you know, in class and such, and showing things that they shouldn't be showing in school, because and at the end of the day, sometimes it sucks to be the outlier. It happens, but you have to adjust for the greater good. And like I said, it's not an apples to apples comparison, but you know, it's kind of the first thing that I thought of. And
basically, what you're saying is like, this person has been singled out because this person actually is, you know, intersex, was born that way, whatever. But yeah, as Arch is saying, we can't just bend the rules just for one person. If you bend the rules for this person, then you just open up the floodgates. You allow all men, like biological men, to come in and just beat the absolute shit out of women. And we've seen it. And like look at Leah Thompson. That's not a woman. That's a dude. Why is he the #1 women's swimmer? But what was he like in men's, like number 300 or whatever it was? Like, he was garbage in comparison. So
right.
the point of this is, and this isn't even free, like hate speech or whatever. I don't understand how this person can go and sue when it's like, no, you shouldn't be allowed to compete. We are voicing our opinion, an opinion which we can have. Well, maybe we can't anymore, but you know, we should be able to have an opinion.
Oh no, we can here. Like,
well, we'll see.
It's no, we can and we will absolutely, like, come and take it, right? But Yeah, it's like the idea that they're filing a lawsuit. What are they going to do? Is the French government going to come after J.K. Rowling and Elon Musk?
Exactly. She's not French, right? She's in the United Kingdom. Plus, she is a billionaire. People don't know that, but she's an actual billionaire. She's got bullshit fuck you money. Her and Elon Musk both have bullshit fuck you money, and you're going after them? Like, good luck. They will skin you for dinner. They will eat you. Their lawyers will go and like put you in a fish tank. Like, bye.
Well, I guess we'll see where that goes. You know, between the breakdancer and this boxer who are really upset with how people talked about him online. It's like I don't know. At a certain point, someone's got to just. I say this all the time, right? You need somebody to tap you on the back of the head, just give you a whap and go like, "Hey, you're being fucking dumb. Stop being so fucking dumb." You know. And I feel like that's what needs to happen.
Imane should hit Rachel Zegler. Get some common sense. She needs a whooping. Yo, Imane, bro.
Right.
She, her, he, him.
Box/ing or box/her. Anyways, I guess we'll see what comes up with that, and that'll be an ongoing story as always. But hey, surprise! Someone got their feelings hurt. Cyberbullying online, it hurts our feelings. It always comes back to my feelings. All right. Speaking of feelings, Arch, I know you wanted to talk about this. We'll finish up with this one here. As Nate, there's this video from Nate shot. We talked about this yesterday, but this has popped up. I think this is a good example of us talking about this a little too early yesterday, as the video is really now starting to make the rounds. We talked about this video yesterday of Nate shot. I feel like just for reference, we should probably watch this again because I know Arch, you made a video about this, but just for everybody watching the show today, let's give this another view.
There's something weird that has happened in the gaming community. I'm serious too when I say this. For some reason, everybody in the gaming community wants games to fail. It's very bizarre. Like the whole thing with XDefiant is still like stumps me to this day. People complain about not having enough games to play. But when new games come out, even before they have played it, they're like, that game sucks. I'm not going to play it. Listen, man, if we keep tearing down these studios trying to make good games, like, yeah, not every single one is going to be fun and not every single one is going to be a hit. But if we're sitting here like preying on its downfall before the game even comes out, what do you think is going to happen? Nobody's going to be investing in gaming and making new games. And you're not going to have shit to fucking play. You're going to be sitting here playing MW2 Remastered edition. You're going to be sitting here trying to play fucking the same old games for the 1,000th time because these billionaires and fucking multi-billion-dollar publishers, they're not going to greenlight any new games, any new concepts, any new IP. I mean, I try to put myself in the shoes of myself when I was like 16 years old, but I can't. I was excited for new games when they came out. The problem is now we have too many options. We've seen too many different games. We've seen too many different ways to interact with games. Like back in the day, bro, in 2007, when Halo 3, Gears of War 1, and Call of Duty Modern Warfare dropped the same fucking year, bro, we were lined up outside of GameStops, whether it was in a mall or attached to a fucking Hollywood Video, sitting there waiting, camped out, drinking fucking Mountain Dew, waiting for these new games for the midnight release. Everybody was so excited about it. Now when new games come out, we're fucking sitting around a goddamn fire witch artifact, like doing a satanic ritual for the game to fail miserably. I don't really get it.
All right, Arch. You had a lot to say about this. Fire away, my man.
There is a lot to unpack here. And as I want to take the charitable approach to this because in 2024, there is only really two options when you're going like, why do people want games to fail? It's ignorance or malice. It's either you don't know about the problem or you are pretending to not know about the problem because you have sponsorships, for example. I'd like to take the charitable approach here and say that because this guy probably isn't particularly deep into gaming culture. He strikes me as somebody who plays a lot of like one or two games, shooters, because he's a professional Call of Duty player. So he's kind of the casual gaming audience who plays like a game and plays it every year in the same series, kind of like the people who play sports games, you know? So he's not really that deep into it, and so he's probably not going to have experienced quite as much of the nonsense going on in wider entertainment, stuff like that. But I mean, there are so many things. Like, for example, the idea that, oh, if we don't buy these games, then the money men won't allow the video game companies to innovate. It's like, shit, gaming has been a $100 billion industry now for a decade. I don't think innovation has really increased since then. Have the money men increased innovation? Does anyone feel as if the billionaires coming in has somehow improved it, added mechanics? Surely we've been in one of the most stagnant periods of gaming now for a very long time. And I mean, his idea of an old game is Modern Warfare 2, which came out in 2009. It's like, oh, well, I don't want to play that forever.
Well, Nadeshot is also, he's the CEO or the founder of 100 Thieves, which is a really big esports group, right? He is pretty damn wealthy. Just looking on celebritynetworth.com, which, you know, take it for what it is. Net worth of $12 million, right? So this guy is well off along the way. 2.9 million Twitter followers. Now, if you actually go to his X account, you can see as you scroll down, the pinned tweet is a crossover between Adidas and Nadeshot. So he's seen success in the space for a pretty good while, right? But that still doesn't take away kind of it still, you know, doesn't negate or anything about what he's talking about here with this. And it does feel like he's you know, this conversation of like people wanting these companies to fail. I think it's actually quite the opposite. I don't think that people want games to fail. I think people want games to return to form, right?
Yeah.
When it comes to this, and this is actually a really, really great example. This is one of the top responses to this right now. It says, "You're telling me I was supposed to be excited for this? You're telling me I want these companies continuously to be made like this, to suck it up? Come on, buddy. Come on. Sitting in our hands as games continue to suck sure will improve the industry, I bet." And he's talking about these games that have been released and or have been released along the way, which, you know, that to me says I'm in a bubble, right? I don't see what the conversation is along the way. H Magnus says, "No, Craig, I do want the industry to fail." I said, I don't want the industry to fail at all. I don't like when people lose their jobs. You know, it's not a winning proposition for me. So anyways, yeah, continue, Arch. You were saying, is there any other points you want to make on that?
Well, about the thing, like, yeah, no, we would prefer, like he does, we would love to return to 2009. I would love to be genuinely excited for upcoming video games. I would love nothing more than that. But you get the industry you deserve. And if you keep swallowing shit, well, guess what? They're going to keep pooping down your neck now, aren't they? That's the thing. If you want a better industry, you need to ask for it. You can't go like Suicide Squad. It's a brilliant example I was just brought up there. Like, yeah, no, you can't reward that because you're just going to get more of it. Like, we started out with like Arkham Asylum, an amazing Batman game, and now we got Suicide Squad. Clearly, we weren't loud enough about our dissatisfaction at some point.
You know, it's interesting to see kind of some of the response to this. Here's another example right here from, it says, "It's childish moronic to blame the consumer. We do not like the product. We are very specific about what we do not like. We keep getting the same slop served to us. We can smell it before it enters the room. Would you go back to a restaurant that gave you that experience? If all the game publishers went belly up tomorrow, and they should within the next 6 or 9 months, new small publishers and game companies would spring up because there's an unquenchable demand for the real deal. Do you think if that shitty restaurants went out of business, then it would be over for all restaurants? Get a grip." And then you see the other side of this from this is from Miranda. I'm not quite. This is a YouTube creator. Hold on, I just want to check this person out before I show this really fast. But this is a YouTube creator with 121,000 subscribers. And oh, by the way, they talk Hogwarts Legacy and stuff. But when Blabs gets back, we'll talk about this. But she said it's exhausting, but it's important that we don't stoop to that level. There's no reason to spread hate. If you don't like something, speak with your wallet. Otherwise, striving to see positive instead of picking out every single negative will always be more productive.
No.
I strongly disagree with this. The idea that number one, criticism is not hate. That's where a big area, like when it comes to just strictly definition. If I'm criticizing or critical of a product, that does not mean I hate it. It actually means probably the opposite. I love this industry, these games, these things that have given me a career or a hobby my entire life so much that I'm willing to take a hard look at these things and I'm willing to be critical of them. It's up to the people who I'm talking to be willing to listen instead of putting their fingers in their ears and going, la, 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 that's just hate. That's just hate. You don't spread hate. I would love to hear your thoughts, Archer, on that.
Well, like, firstly, we need to think about the size of the market here. Like, the restaurant example is a wonderful one. Gaming is expected to be like $180 billion worldwide entertainment market. In 2023, 12,000 games were released on stream, 1,000 titles every month. This is not a market that's struggling, and it will survive a bit of trimming. And the thing is, okay, I like the idea. Like, if you don't have anything positive to say, don't say it. Okay, in a perfect world, I can see it. But the only thing that has actually demonstrably created good results for us is stick, stick, stick. It is to yell at the company and say, I'm not going to buy this. I hate this. Stop doing this. We have to send that message, and the companies have to hear it. And they are companies, God damn it. They're not some, gentle person sitting in the back of a room about to cry when they get a negative message. They're billion-dollar corporations. There is absolutely no reason to spare the rod here. You're muted, by the way.
Will somebody please think of the poor billion-dollar companies along the way? And that's really what it comes down to. It's and Karnak over on Rumble says this: games are not failing, companies are. And I think that's a great statement right there. Norm came in with the 20 Canadian monies, says, play the games or they will take them away. It's such a soy argument. The equation is simple: make quality games and I'll buy it. I won't suffer through crap games. I don't want for the chance they will make something I like. Right. And correct, Norm. And it goes back to what Arch just said. 12,000 games, 1,000 games a month, 333 games rounding off a day. Right. Like, what is that? 30 games an hour, 20 games, whatever it is, 15, 20 games an hour are being released on Steam. There are alternatives, right? So if you're going to create a $200 million game, it better be fucking great. And I think it really speaks to the idea that you should listen to your audience. Go ahead, Arch.
We need to get over the because we're going to have a period now where our side is beginning to regain cultural momentum, where we're going to develop the fear of missing out, where we're going to go like, oh my God, we can't not support this product. We must reward this corporation that gave us a thing. We don't have to. Like, we've already changed the culture. That's the thing. That was the point about the stick, was to change the culture to be non-accepting of bad video games. We've already done that. Even if one product fails, again, there's going to be 11,999 other ones.
11,999 other ones. Like, we'll find an alternative. Thank you. Right?
Exactly.
And, it goes back. I've said this, I don't even know how many times. Will somebody please, like, all I'm looking for is one example. Like, one. Somebody show me the modern audience. Give me a specific example of the modern audience that you're building these games for, right? The idea of like, who was Suicide Squad made for, right? When you inject this stuff in there, right? Ideally, you'd say, well, it was created for Suicide Squad fans. But something missed the mark along the way. Are you going to listen to your audience, or are you going to stick your fingers in your ear and pretend like nothing ever happened? And I think that's the most frustrating thing about this is if you feel like you're yelling at a wall, and it's just, oh, you're hateful. No. We're just criticizing. That's it. So, Blabs, you got anything to finish up on that one?
Nope.
All right. Sir Neoff Strife says, Nade Shot is a normie personified. He mostly plays shooters like COD, Valorant, so on. He's getting life lessons because he is moving out of California because of crimes and so on. Really? Oh, so he's getting slapped in the face with reality. Thanks, Sir Neoff Strife. Appreciate that. Uriah came in and says, Reggie, the ex-president of Nintendo, said it best. The game is fun. If it's not fun, why bother? Yes, it's such a simple idea. Do you enjoy playing the game, or do you not enjoy playing the video game? It's like, I think that's the most amazing thing about this is we're talking about games. Games. What do you do with games? You're supposed to enjoy them, smile, have a fun experience, and these are video games. We're talking about games. If I can do an Allen Iverson over here. J Reds came in and says, I'd just like to point out publishers like New Blood Interactive, who put out boomer shooters like Dusk and Ultra Kill, are starting to thrive because they're putting out quality products that people actually enjoy and want without politics in them. There you go. Right. Exactly. And what it goes back to, there are alternatives, and those alternatives will shine simply by saying, no, we're not going to tell you how to feel. There we go. All right. Holy crap. There's so much we didn't get to today. We didn't even touch today. But we are going to touch on your support. Arch, we've been allowing our friends and our guests the opportunity to bounce when we get to super chats. So we'll offer you the opportunity as well. Or if you'd like to stay, you're more than welcome.
I'll hang around for another like 30 minutes. Then I'll go and off and snack a little bit.
Let's go. Well, we only got about 10 minutes left here, so we'll fire away. Blast, let's see what we got here.
Okay, so over on locals, we have a couple of them. So Just G sent out a tip saying, Sabarshi Time gets a shout out on locals. Rumble Normal Man, LOL.
Let's go.
Spoon Ninja says, watch Conan. No one has said today. Also says, I don't know about Normal Man Popcorn Bucket. And Just G also on DTPY Yoga says, it's good. I got it. Legit gets you going. Ain't your mama's yoga.
Let's go.
And then Arsh, July 22nd, 2011, Norway. Nothing civilized about that. Last I heard, the guy had 3 degrees now, using the system against itself. Your feelings? I don't know what that is.
I don't know.
Maybe not.
No.
Just Spoon Ninja
clue.
says, I like games that are different. Not everything has to be the movie game. And then from the top, here we go. Absolutely Rudy says, Craig, educate Blabs on DDP and his yoga. It's great.
It's funny you mentioned that. I'm literally having a conversation with them via DM right now.
So am I. You can't do that if I'm doing that.
Well, they reached out to me.
Me too.
Oh, okay, well, let's say hi together.
I already did. It's pending right now. I would check schedules if I were you. Anyway, Benjathan says, hey, let's all be normal men monkeys together. Boog says, I can't believe Blab said account has been banned. But I didn't. Dwight says, Mountain Monkey Lives Matter. Holy shit,
They
guys. Master Gawa says, sub your enemies to Disney Plus so Mickey can end them. Jesus Christ, Master Gawa.
I mean, unironically, that's kind of true, though. Like, let's assume in a silly world, they actually do manage to get this through. Like, the court is like, yeah, you were subscribed to Disney Plus, therefore you must solve all legal disputes via arbitration. What is going to, like, Disney could actually start killing people then.
That's the dumbest, stupidest thing I've ever heard in my life. That is so stupid crazy.
Oh my. Boog says, the 19th Amendment and its consequences.
It was a disaster for humanity, I agree.
Caleb says, hey, hi, Gregory, Blabarian, and Archibald. Have money. Thank you. Mercenary says, today is my nephew's. I got him 1 ounce silver coin. Oh, I'm assuming it's your nephew's birthday, so happy birthday, kiddo.
It's my nephew's. All right, let's go.
Yeah, good job. Benjamin says, should ask Melanie about yoga. Blabs is a tomboy. IDK. I am a bit of a tomboy, it's true. Javi says, my favorite position is a downward. So glad I didn't finish reading that one out loud. To be clipped. Matthew says, you should get Mike O'Hearn for a show. All right, got his name. We'll look into it. Mark says, people who do yoga are a little light in the loafers. Absolutely Rudy says, bully Blabs into DDP, yoga, and Arnie movies. Benjamin says, Soka's name is pronounced like Ahsoka Tano. That's why I got confused. I thought you said Ahsoka Tano. I was like, Star Wars? I know that.
No.
But anyway. The Worthy One says, Craig, WWE's tag division is about to be interesting because the Luch Bros and the Motor City Machine Guns are rumored to be on their way.
Ah, yeah, that's interesting. About a decade too late with the Motor City Machine Guns, but all right.
Orthodox Monk says, Arch likes his sandwiches like how a child autist likes their cheeseburger and pizza. Just beef patty with cheese and plain cheese pizza.
Yeah,
are you going to take that, Arch?
No, that's how I eat my food.
No, that's accurate. Yeah. Arch, do you like anything more than cheese on your pizza, or do you have? Is that too exotic for you?
Like, you can have cheese and then maybe there's some meat, but that's about it.
Like, what type of meat? What type of meat are we talking about on your pizza?
Ground beef, maybe some sausage if I'm feeling frisky that particular evening, but we draw the line there.
Any fish?
Oh God, no.
Okay, just making sure.
Frisky. Sly for €5 says, those devs pushing for these changes don't go away. If they get one thing pushed through, they will go for the next thing. Gatekeep early and often.
If it doesn't matter, well, then it's a very easy counter argument. It's like, oh, why do you care? It doesn't matter. Okay. Well, I care. Why does it matter to you? So back off.
Josh says, old school RuneScape has 300k daily players. Azurius says, unironically, the addition of a lack of pronoun options is one of the dumbest things to argue for and against if there's no effect on the experience. Thank you. Baruch says, Craig bringing a snow monkey to Dallas, 45 centigrades? Canadian? I don't know, Dallas.
Dallas. Yeah, I feel like I would do poorly.
You would know.
Uriah the House Right says, why are we kidnapping Arch to America? We're not. I'm against Arch coming to America. He's too pure for this place. Sooner Soul Silver says, I miss the Vietnamese food in Dallas. Oddly specific. Benjamin says, Archibald would burst into flames if he would enter a Taco Bell. Gosh forbid you take him to Popeyes or a local Indian or Thai restaurant.
Just explode.
Probably yes.
Kyle says, I've been told that El Paso, Texas, is the epicenter of Mexican restaurants. It's definitely one of the many cities I want to visit in Texas.
Well, if you go to El Paso, you're pretty much in Mexico. It's
you might as well just keep going.
Yeah. I mean, you're on the border, but there's a ton of Mexican restaurants, and Texas is the epicenter of Mexican restaurants in America. Obviously, you can find a lot of good stuff.
Marksman says Norway doesn't have explosions like Swedes.
That is true.
Charles says, when you go to Norway, have some of that jello fish thing.
Oh, cabaret. Yeah, that if you actually have the balls to take a bite out of that, I will be mildly impressed.
Why? What does it taste like?
Solidified vomit and gelatin combined.
Hey, do a good job selling it there, Arch. Good job, buddy. Solidified vomit sounds delicious.
Let's move
on. It has a very unique texture.
Oh, no. We're moving on. Samurai Knight says, Arch, tell them about the butt baby toy as a payback.
No. I
don't hear already knows.
Don't want to hear about it.
Anyway, Mercenary says, no such thing as a civilized nation if it has a government. More so one that thinks it can say what you can and cannot do. Master Gawa says, men have no place for yoga. Do Tai Chi instead. It's never too late to take up crack. Worst that could happen is Blab's Tower Tard persona takes over.
Thanks, Mr. Gawa. Appreciate that.
Sujad says, Mega Drive was the best console. The boss tracks from Thunder Force IV are by far the most rocking tracks for any game. Martinez says Legal Eagle already broke down the law and how they giveaway rules more than likely do not apply to Beast as per FCC's law.
Oh, really? So wait, YouTubers can do giveaways, right? Is that the idea? Without any repercussions?
Benjamin says.
Hold on. Okay, if that's the case, and we can't get into any issues, then what I would like to do right now, for the first time ever, is if you are a member over at sidescrollerspodcast.com, I'm going to give away a $300 Amazon gift card to one of our members.
Yo, someone make me a member. Thanks.
Okay. Over at Side Scroll, which is our locals page. But you have to be a member. Okay. So if you become a member, a paid member, I will give away one. I will randomly give one away. But you got to be a paid member by the end of the day. Okay. So if you're already a paid member, awesome. If not, hey, sorry. I'm playing the Mr. Beast rules here. I guess that's how it works, right?
And it's so obvious to see how that is exploitative as well, because it's like, okay,
yes,
you too could win $300 if only you sign up to this. Like, yeah.
Yes, exactly. It's so stupid. Like, it's dumb. But you know what? Let's do it. Why not?
If it works and if it's legal, hey, you'd be dumb not to, right?
Yeah. It's sidescrollerspodcast.com. There you go. Go crazy, kids.
Anyway, Benjamin says, when will you guys watch the Rammstein Snow White?
Rammstein. Good music.
Never.
Anyway, Scarface Strange says, Hollywood confuses vanity for beauty, perversions for wholesomeness, and pettiness for strength. Correct. Marksman says, woman got breakdancing removed as a sport. Mercenary says, video game companies get nothing but the stick. Javi says, Craig, tell Blabs how DDP stalked Undertaker's wife.
Yes, that was one of his characters when he went to WWF at the time. Was DDP was the stalker of the Undertaker's wife.
That's funny. I'm Baker says, did you see the $80 Doom Anthology physical edition that requires a digital download? LOL.
No.
That's an abomination. Hilarious. But yeah, physical is dying. Like, quick side note, Quidditch Champions video game out in like 3 weeks. You can't actually get the physical copy until November.
Okay.
Dumbest shit ever. Molester. Damn it, Mo. Anyway, for $2 says Arch eats exactly like his accent sounds.
I do. I eat very daintily and civilized.
Benjamin says, made a mistake. Soka is pronounced like Hakua.
Hakua. Thanks, Benjamin.
Kratos says, when audiences responded to the Wii U with criticism and low sales, Nintendo followed up with one of the best consoles of all time. Criticism results in better products, but only if the company doesn't have its head up its ass. It's funny. Yeah. Taker says, Craig, have you ever had your Taco Bell taco shell stick to the wrapper in which it comes, so when you try to remove said taco, just rips apart?
Sorry, Taker. I'm sure at some point during my Taco Bell journey that has happened, but not recently, as I don't eat dog food anymore.
Right. Miner says, Blabs, did you know burritos are American? Are they?
I don't know. That sounds. I don't know if that's accurate, but who knows?
Sounds dubious, actually.
Alma John came in and says, Craig, while you were gone, someone brought up DDP Yoga. Didn't you try DDP Yoga a few years back? Yes, I did, and I very much enjoyed it. 1,000%. Mimic came in and says they should add pronouns to Mortal Kombat so they can add fragilities, allowing you to misgender someone until they explode. That's brilliant. Boguslawa says, Arch, now that Ireland and England are descending into weakness and disunity, are you and your fellow Norwegians and perhaps the Danes raising eyebrows, looking westward and stroking their chins?
Well, there is no such thing as England. There's only Greater Normandy. So yes.
Okay, noted. CS Warrior came in and says, I just play non-AAA games where we're in a golden age of indies, AA and foreign games. Let these large companies with their bad products die and something else will fill the gap. Hey, thanks. Appreciate that, Warrior. And Just G came in and says, Sup, Soup Ninja, locals represent. Watch Conan. Hey, thanks. I love the back and forth we have over here between locals and rumbles. And Bentley guy came in with the 10, says, and I'll admit, Arch, your food taste is just as exciting as having to go to the dentist on tax day. Stay strong, my good man. There we go. Hey, thanks so much for that, Shane. Appreciate that. All right, let's get out of here. Let's go. It's time to leave. Blabs, you got anything before we say au revoir today?
I did an unboxing video about a goblin. You guys should go check it out. Thanks. Also, Nikki Felty says the FCC rules don't apply, but the lottery laws on giveaway, sweepstakes, and all that does apply. So no, you need to have a way to join for free, or it is a lottery.
Okay, then just I'll tell you what. Everybody who's a member over on the sidescrollerspodcast.com, literally everybody, free member or paid member, that's fine. But if you're a paid member, I'll give you more chances. I'll give you more entries. How's that sound? Is that how it works? I think that's how it works, right? Is that fair? I don't know. It's how it... Oh, hold on. This is big news. Arch, did you hear that Ivan Reitman died 2 years ago?
No, unironically, no.
See,
this is who that is.
Listen, this is a big deal. He's the guy behind. Yesterday during the show, I was talking about a new.
Oh, that was Monday at this point.
Oh, really?
I don't even know. All the days are blurring. I don't know anymore.
All right. Well, like we were talking about the Ghostbusters upcoming animated TV show, and it's going to have Ivan Reitman, who is the original producer behind the Ghostbusters movies. His son is going to be associated with it, and I was like, oh, well, his dad will still be there, and I think it was Vera Dark was like, well, Ivan Reitman's dead, and he's been dead for 2 years, and I was like, oh, so.
Oh yeah, it was yesterday.
Yeah,
my days are blurring, but yeah, good job, Craig.
Yeah, that's right. All right. Hey, 90 Dragons also came in, says the modern audience does not exist yet, but it will once they have formed the shape of the next generation's memories by being ubiquitous. The creation of the modern audience is the goal. Parent your Gen Alphas. The elder Zooms will be 30 in 2 years. Thanks, 90 Dragons. Appreciate that. And Aiden says, hello, guys. How are you? Tell Archcast if he's interested in coming to Dallas to go get to El Ranchito. It's a Mexican food in Oak Cliff. He'll love it. And it's pretty popular there. I don't think that would be a very good fit for Arch. I'm just going to throw it out there with his, so. All right. Let's roll. Everyone go subscribe to Arch. Links to his channels are down below if you haven't yet. Arch, you had a video go up about the topic we had today. How long is that video by chance?
I think I went on for about 20 minutes, which is a very classic YouTube response video. Original video, 2 minutes. Response video, 20.
Nice. Love that. Well, head on over there and check it out. And you can go find the link to everything down below in the description. We'll be back tomorrow when we're back at it. Here, getting past hump day. Moving into a Thursday. Who do we have on the show tomorrow, Blabs?
We actually have Mark the Cyborg, who was in the chat today. And we also have world-class bullshitters Jeff returning.
Let's go. We're going super autist tomorrow. Let's go.
And Friday. Yo, back-to-back tisms, peak tisms. You guys aren't ready. You're not ready.
Peak tisms. Yeah, let's go. Love to see that.
Jesus to Betsy.
Was that so loud? I didn't even hear it on my end because I don't have it pulled in.
He probably cranked it all the way up. Was like, oh, let's try this.
There we go. Is that better?
Yeah.
All right, here we go. All right, let's get out of here, guys. Have a great day. Remember, people are going to try to keep you down. Don't let them. You guys got a goal. Go get it. Have a great day, guys. See you guys tomorrow.